This time in First Impressions, Malcolm Tucker.
Hey, enough of the curse words, alright?
Kiss my sweaty balls, you fat fuck! Ladies, gentlemen, and all other gender-specific pronouns, this is Two in the Bush. I am still Shaun Howe, and I'm joined, as ever in the bush, by Timothy Broad.
I have a cup of tea.
Yes, you do.
Because I'm English.
I feel like you now have said that you've had a cup of tea in every even-numbered episode that we've had. Because episode 2 is like, oh, I got a cup of tea, because you lied about having one in the first episode for some reason.
I guess, but the thing is, I realised that I was wrong to lie, and that I like tea, and so I should drink it more
So
often.
you're going to do it in even... I'm going to remind you in episode 6 when that comes around.
Also, we have bourbons. Don't worry, we're not going to chow down on bourbons too much, unlike we did with the previous episode with the crisps. We realised quite a lot of it was just muffled crunching.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Which isn't exactly the most engaging for everyone. Some people might enjoy the food, other people I know, like a friend of ours called Ben, can't stand the sound of people eating. Like, he can't.
I'm going to send him last week's episode when I get home.
I also sent him the audio of Crunch.
Oh, good.
So, but anyway,
now,
I do have a cup of tea and a bourbon. So
okay, that's good to know.
So now I don't care at all.
I don't care.
Just don't care.
Throw the tea down the sink, you moron.
You're not English.
No. Anyway, I now bring up the triumphant return.
Yes.
Of the vape briefing, which I'm calling Wordplay of the Week.
Okay.
Remember it last week?
I think I do.
It's just a bad pun.
I remember that. I was really bad at it.
Yeah. It was just a bad pun.
Okay, go on then.
So, today's episode is sponsored by a narrow garbage can where family members put their pride, lust and envy.
It's not... Wait, hang on, say it again.
A narrow garbage can where family members put their pride, lust and envy. This is like a Tom Scott-esque joke, by the way.
50 Shades of Grey?
Nowhere near.
Well, you
just heard lust. That's
all I heard, yes.
It's a Finkin sin bin.
I don't even know what that is.
It's not meant to be anything, it's just meant to sound funny.
Oh. No, alright. Next time you do this, make it an actual company or something that I can understand. Otherwise, it's just a sound, and then I have no chance.
You can work out kind of what it sounds like by the words. And
Sin bin fin pong.
What?
What did you say?
Where did pong come from?
Repeat it to me again.
What? So a narrow garbage can where
no, not that bad. Just what it actually was.
A Finkin sin bin.
Sinkin. What does it mean?
Okay,
what does it mean?
Narrow, thin.
Yes.
Family members go for kin.
Okay.
Lust, pride and envy, sin, and garbage can, bin.
But you said the garbage can bit first.
I know, but okay, Tim.
You made a game I can't win.
No, but Tim, if I said by that logic, I could say you want me to say a narrow family members put their pride, lust, and envy garbage can. Doesn't make sense.
Just say in a garbage can.
Tim, it's my segment. I get to dictate it.
By the way,
this
listeners,
is how
you
it
did
works.
just hear an argument or a disagreement on his
a
own
quarrel.
game. It's pretty much just a case of you made up the rules to your own game that I can't win.
Yeah.
It's like heads I win, tails that you lose. It's a dumb...
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, fantastic. Well, okay, let's move on to something that's a bit more fair.
It's a bit more fair.
Or mutual. There we go. The first segment.
You trying to rush the first segment already?
No, wait, hang on.
We're 4 minutes in. I've got stuff to talk about, man.
I'm sorry. I've still got things to talk about as well. Go on.
I mean, okay, what I was going to say is...
sorry.
Relating back to the last episode, where I decided to talk about the treacle people.
What did you find out about them?
Yes, I have looked up the treacle people.
Oh, yeah, of course.
First of all, it wasn't on Channel 5, like I said. It was on CITV.
Okay.
It was animated, as I suspect.
Okay, yeah.
It was wrote by some people who also written.
Yeah.
But wrote, I don't know why, because I'm
written
a moron.
by people.
It was written by people
Mm-hmm.
who worked on Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse was cool.
Yeah. God, how far they've fallen. There were two seasons of it in 1996 and 1997.
So this was already old by the time.
Yeah, it was the time I was watching it. Probably how I got Channel 5 in my mind. Maybe they just tried to get anything on there.
No, Top Cat. No, Channel 4 does Top Cat.
And it was actually once nominated for a BAFTA.
You're joking.
I mean, no, they didn't win it, obviously, because they fucking didn't.
BAFTA, what was the BAFTA award?
Children's BAFTAs and stuff. Also, when I was looking through the Wikipedia page, which also actually tangent on the tangent.
Yes.
I imagine it must look quite weird that my Wikipedia search went from the 7 deadly sins to get up the wordplay one,
yes,
and to the treacle people. But I was looking through the Wikipedia page to look at anything interesting that might be there, and it had like kind of descriptions for the episode, and I discovered that they refer to the collection of characters as the Sticky Heroes.
Okay.
Which sounds like a porno.
I mean, I wouldn't like to say that. It was a children's program, but much like the Magic Roundabout, has slightly darker sense of humour.
Maybe it does. I mean, I didn't check through all of the episodes, but I'm pretty sure I didn't see an Iraq War fracking or.
I was about to say, like, was it like a message on the politics of that day? And actually, no. Before then, there wasn't.
It was before all of those things happened.
All those things,
because fracking came in like the late 2000s. The Iraq War was early 2000s.
Yeah.
And
fracking.
And the Qatar World Cup was awarded in 2012, I think.
Okay.
So, no. So that's a bit of follow up.
Fair enough. Anyway, so.
But also.
What more about the Trickle People?
Oh, that's all I got about the Trickle People.
Oh, they were just called the Sticky Heroes.
They called them our Sticky Heroes.
Our Sticky Heroes.
Our Sticky Heroes. It's
okay.
Also, I am. Now you may remember how in episode 2 we had a chat about you going to Brighton Pride.
Yes.
As it happened, I was doing something at Hastings Pride.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is a bit weird how you went to Brighton to do it and then not the one in your hometown.
I was working. I need money.
I was working.
I was working.
That's fair, actually. You were working.
For a few hours, and plus afterwards I felt very ill and I didn't do anything the rest of the evening.
Oh.
I just got home and crashed.
And just died.
Yeah. So, but in advance, I'm sorry that I missed what you were up to. And what were you up to?
I was doing a comedy gig because I want to be a comedian. The key word is want.
Want to be. In
the same way that I want to be a millionaire and I want to have a big old penis. That doesn't necessarily mean any of those things are going to happen.
You just go back to genitalia.
Do I?
Yeah.
I always go back to genitalia.
No, you did last time. You made an analogy. I can't remember exactly what the analogy was last time. In the last episode, it wasn't needed.
Look, work with that joke. Come on.
All right.
Cut me some slack.
I know.
So, yeah, I was doing a gig at Hastings Pride. However, we had some problems.
Mm-hmm.
The main one was technology based. We needed to have a PA in the tent that we were in. It was a bit weird because the tent was actually quite small, so hypothetically we wouldn't. But we had a big old stage opposite us, playing out loud music. I believe when I eventually went on, I believe they were still doing a fitness rave on that stage. So
right.
That's quite loud.
So
we needed the PA.
So it drowned out your comedy.
No. It didn't drown. We needed the PA.
Yeah.
No, we're struggling to get it to work. Because first we had no idea where it was. Then we get it in there. We had no idea if we had the right wires. I can spit it out. And then we were like, okay, we've got the right wires, but we haven't got a fucking power source.
Well, there's no power source.
And they had to go, something to plug it in. It was confusing. I didn't quite keep track of it. But eventually we managed to get it working. And they started to try and work this out about just after 12. We meant to start at 1:45.
Mm-hmm.
We finally managed to get the PA working at, I think it was 1:45.
In the afternoon?
Yes.
That's not bad.
Well, no.
What time were you originally meant to be performing?
I was originally meant to be performing at 1:20.
Okay, so they are a little bit behind now.
Well, yeah, but also they said, okay, we've got the PA working. Is there anybody who needs just a mic? Because there are a lot of singers, they need musicians.
And also poets as well.
Yes, that was the thing. I in my head, I thought, I mean, maybe the poets, and then realised they're going on for an hour. I'm like, oh, it's going to be me.
You went with the opening,
and I've never opened a show before because I've done very few shows, and I kind of struggled to connect the audience. They're a little bit confused. Not confused, but you know, sometimes if you open it with an audience, they're kind of almost expectant, and it can be very hard.
You have to just very quickly try and engage them.
And I didn't quite do that well enough.
It's very hard. Not from personal, but I just know when you see comedy programs on TV, the opening person come on stage is very big. They're very bold. They're very brash. They're very confident.
That's why in shows like Live at the Apollo, you get the main guy out first,
yes,
rather than last.
Yes,
because the main attraction going out first in that situation, everyone's going to listen, everyone's going to laugh,
exactly.
It's going to be funny and all that. Now, I feel like I have quite an experience as a comedian, so I feel like the mistakes that I made are obviously going to be very good to learn from.
Yes.
But there was something else. And there's something, I don't think I've told you about this.
No, I'm not sure.
And despite being the first on of the scheduled people,
yes,
I had something to live up to.
Right, because there was another comedian.
No, but what had happened was we're like half an hour late here. We're gonna from the start. We're going to need to. We're going to do something eventually to try and keep the crowd interested.
Right, to start like as an apology and like
to say look, don't worry, we'll be on soon.
People gets their money.
We'll preoccupy. I mean, yeah.
Was it free?
Yes, it was free.
Oh, it was free. So okay.
But I mean, yeah, everyone's going to go away if it's not working. Mm. So what ended up happening is in a kind of desperate flee of not having any ideas.
Yes.
Or any other ideas.
Yes.
The person, I don't know if comparing is the right word, but I'm going to use
Hosting?
Hosting, who I may as well point out is a drag queen, decided to go up on stage.
Yes.
And do a sing-along of Bohemian Rhapsody.
While you were performing?
No, not while I was performing. It was just before I went up on stage. Now,
and did it work?
I mean, it got the crowd going along. I mean, you could get a crowd of nuns to start singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody if you really wanted to. But
and the whole of Glastonbury would go wild,
even when it's not going on.
Exactly.
I'm willing to bet that very few comedians in the world would be able to accurately follow up on and surpass the sheer spectacle of a drag queen singing Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean,
I was saying that I feel like it's a different sense of humour.
Oh yes,
and so it just depends.
But the thing is that you get the queen coming on, and then there's me, kind of slightly unconfident and very new to the scene.
I guess this is like I don't want to say I'm not going to make any. I'm not trying to make any assumptions or any I don't know, judgments about the kind of audience they would have at Pride. You'd have the audience at Pride Fest that would probably find that more entertaining than let's say
they'd be up for it.
They'll be up for it. They'll be prepared for it. Whether if you just Live at the Apollo, I don't think they'll necessarily expect to drag.
No.
They'll expect Jimmy Carr or someone like that big to come. But anyway, carry on.
Oh yeah, so that was. I actually did end up having a chat with the drag queen afterwards.
Okay.
Her name was Princess Porcelain, I believe.
Porcelain.
Yes, because
porcelain dolls. Yeah.
Yes. I'm very tempted to actually tell her about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
You good?
Whoa, Tim.
Whoa, no.
Tim.
Hey, no.
Tim, we will take listens of each other at this
Let
stage.
me explain myself.
No, Tim, imagine the kind of the quirk of having a drag queen listen before, say, anyone from continental Europe.
No, what I'm saying is, right, I guess the way I feel is you want to have an audience that's a bit more, I don't know, not just going to go... Because, people they judge, people that just judge people, I just don't like this because this and this person are listening or whatever. They just have angry commenters. I'm worried,
Well, they're not going to know who's listening, are they? And plus, we're not going to end... It wouldn't end up being a weird spark where our whole audience are drag queens.
I don't know.
I mean, I'd be interested in doing a live show of this, and then they'd be looking at the audience.
They'll expect two drag queens, and they just see
just
teenagers. One's a bit spotty and skinny.
One's a bit chubby and ginger.
Just hi. But anyway, I apologise that came off a bit strong. Didn't mean to. Carry on.
But I mean...
What was the audience like?
It was all
Were they supportive?
They were as supportive as somebody coming on first can be. But, you know, did
anybody boo? Or just,
no boos at all. No,
any hecklers? No, it was quiet. And
yeah, I mean, interesting. I had a couple of people who went up to me after the gig and did say that my stuff was clever.
Yeah.
So my thinking is that the routine that I did wasn't bad.
And the content is good.
The content's good.
Just execution.
But I was in situations and
when you went up against a drag queen.
Not up against, but yeah, sure.
Well, you know, like you're trying to get the biggest laugh.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of trying to get not laugh, but being involved.
Involved in And
the annoying thing is that I started off in that set in a kind of weird twist of fate, when I was kind of had a bit of a gag saying that I wanted to treat the audience as a whole.
Yes.
And they'd be like, so on that note, how are you doing? And if I'd have just carried on that and actually expanded on it, I could have actually got the crowd interested. But
hey, look,
that's the way it goes.
As you said yourself, you didn't say, obviously you didn't tell me, as you said, you can only learn. That's the best thing you can get from it, is the learning experience. That's the best thing it is. Like, and then just in the future, if it goes better and goes well, then hey ho, just boost your confidence.
Yeah.
And you're not going to give up now?
No, of course not.
Well, that's fantastic. You've learned, and you're going to take from it. Don't have a drag queen first.
Don't fight a drag queen.
Or start with Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, that.
Just start singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, sing another Queen song. Can anybody find me?
Or just, I want to break free.
It's go off the stage.
Yeah.
Break free.
Just walk off the stage. All right.
Actually, no. Because Tim, if we did want to break free, then it'd look like a drag queen, because the whole pink dress in the music video.
I've never seen the music video.
Well, Freddie Mercury is in a pink dress.
Oh, is that why there was so much controversy about that one in America?
Probably. I wasn't aware that there was controversy there, but yeah, sure. Two, the way you said controversy.
Or basically just how...
You said it kind of controversy.
Yeah.
You kind of enhanced a really weird bit. It'd be like saying podcast.
Controversy.
You'd be
controversy. Did I say controversy?
Yes.
Oh. Well, thanks for picking up on my inadequacies and my...
Well, you picked up on my grammar last episode, so we're even.
Maybe we should just stop digging at each other, shall we?
Yeah, maybe this is going to turn into a fight.
Hey, there we go. That'll be a first on the podcast. Anyway, let's not do that.
Now we can move on, Tim.
I want to do my segment. My bit of, my life.
Oh, have you got bits of your life?
I mean, not a big, I haven't gone to a Pride festival or anything like that. I've had a pretty...
He hasn't had a fight with a drag queen?
I mean, mine's been... I'm not going to stick around, talk for too much, just because it is pretty just non-eventful week. Nothing's really much happened. I mean, the only thing that...
Sorry. I realised I started laughing there. I might as well explain.
Yeah.
Tim picked up his notes.
Yeah.
And when he picked them up, I could quite clearly see from what he wrote last week that he had them the wrong way round.
I was going to say, what did I do?
What did I do last week? I mounded against whatever it was.
So pretty much this week, I haven't done all that much. I've kind of tried to carry on with my life and my life choices and goals.
I'm concerned that when you use quotes, air quotes there.
I know, it's because I've signed up
to escape from the Matrix.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I've signed up for my second year of my art course.
Wow.
For those who don't know, which is everybody.
I suppose. We haven't even told them what they don't know yet.
I'm apparently an artist.
You're an artiste.
And what I mean by that is I failed my A-levels and I ended up doing an art course instead. So...
By that logic, I'm also an artiste.
Yes, well, there we go then. That's why we end up here.
Artist buddies.
Artists
in the bush.
Artists in the bush. Alright, so yeah, I've signed up for my second year of my art course, which is awesome. And
Although it had a bit of a weird time, didn't it?
Well, it was in the middle of the day.
It was at 4:00
in the afternoon.
On Tuesday.
And that's when originally
we're recording this on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and we originally were going to do do the podcast on a Tuesday.
And then it was just that comes up in the middle of the day.
And then I got an email saying your time for coming in is 4:30. Like, I was expecting, or wasn't expecting, they said, like, it'll be coming up soon. I was thinking, oh, okay, well, if it does come up...
That'll be, like, day before.
It'll be day before. No, it was today. It must have been a reminder. I must have missed the original email, but it was in the middle of the day, so we couldn't really get any filming done. And so
because we need to do some filming today as well.
Yeah, but before then, my dad was like, okay, we're going to do something. Obviously, you can't do anything. Lol. You don't have enough social life. We ended up... My dad organised selling my my old bed.
Your bed.
My old bed, because I now have a very fancy double bed, which you spoke about before.
I believe we did, in a very cheap joke.
Yes, and I was very unhappy about it. So I'm going to refrain from doing that.
I will.
So
this is seeming more and more aggressive as we go along.
Yeah, don't make harsh judgments on my life. So we got rid of
He's got a gun, guys.
We got rid of the old bed, and I called up the bed, like the people who take away the furniture. The bedmen. We called up the furniture people, and they said, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll come down in a week. A week Friday."
All right.
I was like, "That's fantastic." No, they didn't come in a week Friday.
I mean, to be honest, it's quite obvious that they didn't, because this was something that happened in the last couple of days.
They came an hour later after I called them. While I was still in my pajamas.
No.
Just relaxing, playing video games. And I hear him loud knock on the door. He's like, "Hey,
give us your bed.
Here's the bed." I'm like, "You meant to come a week ago." Or like, sorry, no,
a week ago.
Sorry, a week.
That's a twist.
Like, you meant to come in like a week and a half's time. And they say, "Oh yeah, we'll give him the wrong date." I'm like, "No, that is the right date. You're just here early." And so
the thing is, though, Tim, that's good service.
It is, but I like to know they're coming.
When he did. Well, you knew they were coming. You just didn't know what time. Clearly.
Well, I knew what time. It was meant to be between 2 and 4 on Friday. And it ended up being at like 12 o'clock on the same day.
Actually,
also, that says a lot about my life, still being in pyjamas at 12 o'clock. But hey,
if
you're a teenager,
that's just what you do.
If you're a teenager, that's
if you even have pyjamas.
I do have clothes.
I mean, okay, that wasn't the question, but sure.
Oh,
but actually, that does remind me, because as you know, we're going to eventually get this podcast out onto iTunes and Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
But at time of recording, interestingly, because I sent them off to both.
Yeah.
And I have got the confirmation email back from Stitcher, but I haven't from iTunes.
What's the confirmation? Do they need to that it's no profanity?
I believe they give it a review to what it's about and all that. It's not exactly profanity, because we can swear. Tim, say your favourite swear word right now.
Smeghead, but that's not even a swear word.
Not really a swear word.
That's just a cuss. Or a slur.
A slur.
I don't really have a
slurry snag. But I mean, that's fair. But yeah, they just kind of review it and see if there's anything dodgy about it, and it meets all of the criteria that's on the RSS feed.
Subliminal messages in the background.
it's maybe
buy our merchandise. We don't have any. It will come soon if we make any money.
If we do, it'll just be a T-shirt with a bush on it. I don't think people will buy that. Actually, that does give me a good idea for Halloween, though. We could go to Halloween, 2 people in a bush, and then knock on the door. They open it. It goes, "Listen to our podcast."
No, honestly, I prefer. So very briefly, I still prefer the idea of going as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh yes,
that wasn't my original idea.
That was George.
That was a friend of ours called George, who dressed up as Jehovah. All they had was just a black wearing clothes and a Bible.
Fair enough.
And they just knocked on the door.
Do you even need to buy a Bible? Just get a fake Bible.
Well, he's got a Bible, and they just said, "Have you heard of Jesus?
Have you heard of him?
Have you heard of Jesus?
Have you seen Jesus around here? I'm looking for him.
I'm looking. He's lost. He's gone.
He's gone away. I don't know where he's gone. I mean, look the big rock on his tomb open. I haven't seen him since. But anyway, what I was going to say was I've got a bit of a theory why Stitcher came in before iTunes.
Why?
Now, we've made a friend on this podcast. A certain Mr. Bill Gates.
Oh,
by criticising his weather.
Right, yes.
And my thinking is that Apple have heard this, and they're like, "What? This could be serious, guys. We don't take any chances. We don't give them clearance."
Oh, of course. Oh, look, though, I would think that they may think, let's grab this opportunity and hook them up with, Apple products. Not Microsoft.
I mean, oddly enough, I have an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Windows phone.
There's a civil war going on in the podcast. which has been almost kind of foreshadowed by our previous discussion.
So, but you think hang on, who own? What's the other company called again?
Well, Apple.
No, Stitcher.
Stitcher. Yeah, that's a.
Are they owned by anybody, or they?
I don't know.
Are they a private company?
They're an app for Android users.
Oh, who own Android?
You mean who are Android?
No, who own Android or Android?
I don't know. Samsung, maybe?
Who owns Samsung?
Me.
Disney. Because
Disney.
they buy everything.
They'll get them eventually. But they'll never get us, ladies and gentlemen.
They'll never get us.
It'll just be one massive corporation and a tiny podcast from a sofa in
and
the
I know
southeast
which
of
one
England.
I'd rather watch.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, that's it. Now, on that note,
yes,
we'll go to our first segment. Finally, we've actually said it twice now.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to get to the point, given what last episode was like. We're just going to be saying, and now for our next segment for 10 minutes until we actually do it.
So yeah, what is the segment?
The segment is called "Attempt to be Interesting."
Awesome. And
guess what we do?
We attempt to be interesting.
Yes, Gold Star. Now, which of us wants to go first?
I think you.
Okay.
I think you go first.
Well, my attempt to be interesting.
Mine took up a lot of time last time.
My attempt to be interesting focuses around language.
Yes.
Specifically foreign languages, because doing it on English is... I mean, I imagine I could get something interesting out of English.
Yes.
And that'll probably end up being done for a later date, but... I
can only speak English, and I don't do that very well.
And I can remember when you did do languages, you didn't do too well.
No, I mean, I never passed the test once. Like, first time. I'd always fail it, and once I failed it twice, with different correct answers than the first time.
Yeah, you completely guessing.
So it says a lot about my retaining of information.
I mean, but that's fair, because I mean, I'm not going to judge you on that here, Tim.
Well, I hate the French.
Tim's getting slightly more and more right wing as the podcast
No, don't worry,
on.
no. My disliking of the French will come clear when it comes to my segment, as you'll find. Yes.
What's that white hood doing on the floor?
I don't know. It's just keeping my cross covered.
Oh, what is that for your Jehovah's Witness costume?
Oh no, I thought it was a KKK one.
What? You just completely messed up the joke there.
No, you said.
I know, that's a subversion. I swerved it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Sorry about that. I'm going to be quiet for now.
No, it's fine, Tim. Don't sulk into your cup of tea.
I'm just going to cry tears in my cup of tea.
Oh, give me a free refill.
Too much sugar.
He's crying milk.
I know, too much sugar.
He's lactating.
Too much sugar.
He's crying for the water, lactating for the milk. Too much sugar
in my tea. I'm just going to put some salt in it in my eyes and my tears.
Salty tea.
So carry on.
Anyway, the language I want to talk about is Japanese. And it's fucking hard.
Don't
worry, that's not just a thing, because I've got a very specific thing that I'm
It's not that
about.
hard.
It might not be very hard on the surface.
Yes.
But when you get into it, oh boy.
It's very hard.
So what I want to do, Tim, is introduce you to the concept of counter words.
Okay, well, like on and off, like reverse.
No. Counter word. Okay, so let's say in Japanese you see a couple of dogs.
Yeah.
So you got your say you're in Japan and you want to say to your Japanese friend,
let's go eat them.
Tim, can you stop getting more racist as the podcast goes on?
I'm sorry.
Why have you set the cross on fire?
Well, isn't that the Chinese?
I don't know. Tim, it might. Tim,
you know, last podcast
might be Korean. I think it's Korean.
You know what I said last episode? I'm not an idiot. No, I'm just completely oblivious of how the world works.
We said you're not an idiot, but you're completely oblivious to the fact you're an idiot.
Yes.
But anyway, okay. So, say in this situation I was setting up, you just want to say to your Japanese friend, "Oh, look at those two dogs," or most likely there are two dogs over there.
Yes.
Now, if you looked up what the phrase for "look at those two dogs" is,
yeah,
the Japanese person would probably understand you, but you'd be saying it wrong. Because what counter words are, they are words. They're kind of like the best way I can describe it is if somebody put plurals on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
As in, say, there are specific words that you have to use when referring to more or one of certain things.
Yes.
And there are a lot of these.
Okay.
And to the point where many fluent speakers don't know them, and they just kind of, when they're reading stuff that have them in, they just kind of improvise.
So people that are
fluent in the language just don't really understand how it works.
So Japanese-speaking people don't understand their own language, you say?
Yeah, a lot of people who are fluent in Japanese who don't really understand how it works.
That's the case with English as well. There are some people who double negative statements, like, the phrase, I don't know nothing, comes into mind.
I don't know nothing, Jon Snow.
Exactly, it's not so catchy.
I know. I wanted to shoehorn a Game of Thrones reference in.
You don't even watch it, I do.
Exactly, that's why I did it.
Don't worry, this is not going to become another discussion about Game of Thrones.
Hey, guess who dies?
Everyone.
Now, I've got a list here of very specific counter words, because you'd think maybe it's like encompassing. Say for dog, the counter word describes small creatures, small falling creatures.
Yes.
So you can use it for like dog, cat, fox.
These aren't counter though. These are just breaking it down more.
I know, but okay. So look at these for some specifics.
Okay.
There are specific words for tiny particles.
Okay.
Haikus.
Okay.
Umbrellas.
Yeah.
Hour-long periods, not hours. Hours is a different one.
Hours.
Hours and hour-long periods have different counter words.
Okay.
So say if you're in a really long lesson that's gone from like 6:30 to 8:30, you can't say the word for hours. You have to say the one for hour-long periods.
Okay.
So there also ones for bags of rice.
Bags of rice.
Drops of liquid.
Okay.
And 1.8 litre containers. I mean, it's something like that. I can't. I know.
Where have you found all this information out, may I ask?
It's another podcast that I listen to. I'll be honest.
Are you just nicking their content?
I'm not nicking all of their content. No.
Are you nicking any of their content?
But no, it's interesting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I feel like it's only right. Okay. I think it's only right then that you mention this other podcast and where to find it.
Okay, it's called Luke and Pete's Summer.
Yeah.
It's done by the people who do the Football Ramble. If you know those podcasts, you probably would have known it already. Go and look at that, because but Tim, we're taking people to put a podcast better than our own.
Oh, no, that's not necessarily. Okay, yeah, maybe. Oh, anyway, yes. So,
Okay. To go back to a jolly note.
Yes.
The counter word for stuff like gunshots and fireworks also covers orgasms and sexual acts.
Gunshots and
fireworks covers orgasms and sexual acts.
I don't know what you mean.
I think it's because like a kind of a bang, like Tim. I don't want to explain to you the birds and bees on this podcast.
Okay,
but you know full well what that means. But also, can I just say, the fact that they decided they need a counter word for orgasm. If you've been in a sexual situation and you're having to actively count how many orgasms they've been, you've been a very lucky person. Or you're lying. One of the two.
Or they were incredibly bored and they were counting for you. They resorted to counting rather than enjoying the moment.
So it's like, how many do you have, Mum?
Pretty much. Oh, we just changed that one none to a 3.
To none to 100. Anyway, I realise we're half an hour in already.
Oh, let's not worry about the time.
So, but we're not worried about the time. We're worried about the charge on your phone.
You slightly throw me off about this Japanese language thing. I mean, it's a lot more complex than mine. Although mine is about. No, actually, that's about. Never mind, don't worry, sorry.
Well, you might as well go on and say what your attempt to be interesting is.
My attempt to be interesting was the origin of names.
Ooh.
Specifically, I know this may seem narcissistic. Hey, that's the right use of it now.
Narcissistic, yeah.
Yep.
Wait, did you use narcissistically wrong?
Yes, I have used it wrong many a time. Maybe not necessarily on the podcast, but just in life.
What were you using it to describe?
Just the classic confusion between
child abuse.
No, between Nazi and narcissistic. They both sound kind of sick, and I've got it very.
So you described fascism as narcissism.
Yes, I have. I'm an idiot.
Because I mean, Hitler's kids were really spoiled.
So he didn't even have any.
Probably right. I mean, he only had one bollocks. He probably didn't have much luck.
So anyway, so the origin of the name,
that.
specifically my name. Well, my name is...
Your name is Timothy Broad.
My name is...
We've gone through this.
Timothy Broad. Have good luck finding me on Facebook or any other social media because I'm not there.
You are.
Probably.
I mean, if you look for him on like Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter...
No, you should go definitely find me there. You'll definitely find some fresh content there.
Pictures.
Anyway,
dick pics.
The origin of...
Tim is actually all of those spam bots that you get.
Yes. The origin of my name, it turns out... I was just curious because we were watching, guess what, Game of Thrones, and it's about, very old families and
did you try and research the origin of the name Daenerys?
No, it's just like, you know what I mean though. It's like interesting. That obviously Game of Thrones is kind of meant to be based in medieval, even older than medieval.
It's pretty much War of the Roses, but with dragons.
Pretty much. I mean, it's kind of very hard to put exactly.
No, I might go into what Game of Thrones is about in my next attempt to be interesting.
I'd say it's probably around just after 10, maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's War of the Roses, mate.
The technology is pretty low key.
Well, yeah, but.
Well, dragons are pretty high key. All right, brilliant. So it turns out...
I'd like to see an R&D of a dragon.
And as I say, it will become clear now why I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the French. No, I'm obviously not...
French.
I'm not necessarily... I'm not being sincere here. This French are absolutely fine.
Tim, you're being so narcissistic.
I like pretty much all culture. I generally...
Pretty much.
Apart from, I take snippets from each culture.
Except from the French.
Apart from the French. But so my name's origin is for 6th/7th century. So that's Anglo-Saxon period. This is just after the Romans have left.
By the way, what we'll say is a lot of English names do have Anglo-Saxon origins.
I know, but there we are. And so broad, and this is in the period of time where surnames originated from more nicknames. So obviously that makes sense why broad. Well, that's why I'm a surname, because it's obviously that's a way of describing somebody's body
a bit chubby
shape. Or chubby, or just large, not necessarily fat, but just big, I guess.
I mean, look how far it's come.
I know.
You're withering away in front of me.
I'm a tall, skinny, spotty teenager. Racist. So anyway, my name is, and I originate from Somerset. Apparently, and I used to apparently, my name may have had like a house or whatever, the
house is broad.
Or like a...
Is this a really big house?
I don't... Probably a very big house full of fat people. But apparently I lost...
Really wide doors.
This all disappeared when guess who came along? William the Conqueror.
Hitler?
No, William the Conqueror.
Oh,
he came along and just took everything
Will
away.
the bastard.
So, there we are.
He been on a lot of stuff.
It was a very short... attempt to be interesting. Oh, apart from one other thing I wanted to mention, there's the coat of arms.
How do you get your coat of arms?
It's quite simple. I mean, the way I'll describe it, it's like three... Actually, no, here we go. The island flag.
Yeah, okay.
So a tricolor. Or even the French flag.
That's the technical word.
Yeah, tricolor. So it changes. It's white, black, white, going from left to right. And in each of these different sections is one diamond that is of the opposite colour.
Ah.
And it's quite a basic one. And also in the time I looked up Shaun's, and also Shaun looked up his.
Yes, I looked up my
and his is a lot more interesting. What was yours again? It was 3 lions, wasn't it, or something?
It was... Mine was... It had kind of... I think you're thinking the Hastings coat of arms.
Sorry, the Hastings, yeah.
With 3 lines. Mine was kind of like a shield, and it had kind of... It was black and gold, mainly.
Yes.
And it had kind of laurel leaves or something going along the side of it, and it had a kind of knight's helmet in the centre of it.
Yes.
And I thought that would look quite cool.
It was your one was quite cool.
And it turns out the origin of my name, it comes from somebody who lived by a hill or by a ridge or something like that.
Yes.
Because in fact, there are a lot of places that are kind of near hilly areas that have a name similar to my surname, which is Howe.
Okay.
A lot of them don't have W's in them though. So it's like when I was reading the article, it was like
just Ho.
It was like there are towns with basically similar sounding names to Howe, and it was Ho, Who, and Who.
So your name originates just from a location next to a hill.
Well, yeah, but apparently it's first recorded in Berkshire.
Where's Berkshire? I've forgotten.
Kind of Well, it's north of here, but there's a lot. That's kind of dumb for me to say because there are lots of counties that are north of Sussex.
Yes, we're right.
I always forget where counties are.
You can't get any more. You can't get any south.
South
rather than like Hastings.
And you can get the Isle of Wight, I suppose.
Yeah,
Actually, if we're going on that logic, we can go to Channel Islands.
Yeah, but then you're into France.
No, we can use the Channel Islands. Okay. Hastings United play in the same league as Guernsey FC.
Okay.
That's one hell of an away game, I'll tell you that.
All right, okay. So, anyway.
And actually, because names can be interesting, because there's the whole thing where if you have somebody called like something Johnson or what have you.
Yeah.
That has Viking origin, and it's quite literally it's say John's son. So somebody with the surname Johnson would, if they have gone through like the whole of the family trees and they don't go back to someone called John, they've done something very wrong. Then you should reevaluate. And also something kind of about names. Did you? This might end up blowing your mind. It did for me.
Go on.
And this is, I realise now, this is also from the Better podcast that I mentioned earlier, but that's just burst into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the name Nathan can be used as a shortener for Jonathan?
Nathan?
Yeah, when you think about it.
Jonathan.
Nathan.
It could be.
You wouldn't think about it, because you've got names like Nathaniel, and you've got then John for Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so hey, Luke and Pete, I'm giving you accidental free publicity here, so I'll accept my check in the morning.
I guess, I just say, I'm quite tired because we've done a lot. We did a lot of filming today before this podcast, and I'm quite tired. But we'll carry on, we'll persevere.
Yes, we will.
So, should we move on to the next session? Section.
We're doing it. It's like a smooth jazz bar we're in now. It's got the saxophone out.
I mean, I play clarinet, but that's not exactly the smoothest of instruments.
No.
Nobody got turned on by a clarinet.
You're not going to pull on a clarinet.
No, I'm definitely not. Saxophone, on the other hand.
You can push on a clarinet, but you can't pull on a clarinet.
Exactly.
Push away.
Saxophone on the other end.
Right.
Very.
Should we go to the next segment?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
This bit we like to call almost satire.
Almost satire, yes.
And what we do is we find something that's been in the news as of late,
and
kind of warp it to make it a kind of entertaining question to each other.
Okay then.
Now, do you want me to go first?
I think I'll go first, as you went first.
Your subject is quite important.
Very important. And basically, by the time you hear this, you may be enjoying it or criticising, or we may be dead.
We may be dead.
So anyway,
it's a small possibility, but we might be dead.
I believe it was either yesterday or the day before that, or even maybe the day before that. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
It depends
what
when
day
this
it
podcast
was.
come up. But North Korea
decided to get
fired
a bit
a missile east rather
over Japan.
Over Japan. Now
You're like,
they don't know if
they just really hate counterwords.
Now they're not sure that I don't think they're sure if they were either aiming for Japan
or just going over them.
Or just going over it as like a proof of like, look at this range. And he went over the north of Japan, and of course people weren't expecting this. Like nobody was. I mean, tests had been going on, but they never thought they'd fire it anywhere near
a country.
And they ended up going over one. Now, I don't think the warhead had anything like on the warhead. Like,
of course, it didn't have anything nuclear. If it's that close to Japan,
Japan just know.
Japan knows nukes when they see them.
But yeah, basically, this, as you said earlier, is being compared to
the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cuban Missile Crisis, and the difference is, of course, in the Cuban Missile Crisis, not a single missile was fired.
Everyone just thought there would be.
It was like a what's the word? A preemptive strike.
Yeah, it was like a kind of Mexican standoff in a way.
Well, yeah. They had. I mean, there were missile locations in Europe during the Cold War, and I guess Russia wanted.
It was the thing is that Cuba.
Yes.
Had a communist revolution.
Yes.
I don't know if they're still communist, but they might be. And what happened is they became allies with the Soviets, and then it was reported that the Soviets were sending nuclear missiles over to Cuba to essentially use them as a fucking
a missile
base. Yeah,
so they could strike pretty much the whole of
America.
Pretty much the whole.
Depends on how far they can go.
Well, they're ICBMs, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBMs. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I was just saying we had some in Europe, as being on the Western world. We have some in Europe, And basically, it was just a case of they were doing the same, and we were like, "This is out of order.
This is not good."
And so the world was, terrified.
Temporarily like, oh fuck!
Like the world.
We've just had a Second World War. Do not want one that's nuclear.
And it could have been entirely possible because Kennedy would not stand down and let the missiles stay there. Of course not.
Yeah.
But
it was resolved eventually.
It was resolved in the end as they dismantled some of the ones in Europe. I think that also there was like not abandoned one, but just one that wasn't being used, a missile thing that they were worried about in more Eastern Europe, just for the Russian border. But anyway, long story short, it was resolved. In this case, of course, a missile has been fired. It wasn't like aimed as a direct threat. Like
no. It was essentially.
It's a statement. A very big statement.
Like brandishing a knife.
Yes.
You haven't stabbed anyone, but it's fucking there.
It's clear what your intentions are, at least what you're threatening to do.
Yes.
So I guess it is a threat in a way.
Yeah, so Tim, what is your question?
Well, my question is,
satirical
how would you avoid a nuclear war or deter nuclear missiles at that?
Because all of the governments and all of the world have been I can't think of the word, I fucked this up.
Avoiding?
No, phoning, but phoning a lot.
Yes.
They've been phoning us, saying, look, you guys, you are the ones who we can trust.
Yes.
What we have people in meltdown. We have no idea what to do.
You've proven that you're both completely impartial and not at all racist and care about humanity.
If you care enough about humanity to improve the Microsoft Weather app, you care enough to save the world.
Yes. So Shaun, how would you stop a nuclear missile or stop a nuclear war in general?
It is a very tricky question.
Yes.
And I personally think, and I don't want to get too serious, but I personally don't think there won't be a nuclear war.
I'm not going to make any comments on that, but I'm pleased you're optimistic.
If within 2 weeks of this podcast going up, there's a nuclear war,
yes,
I will put a blonde streak in my hair for a week.
Right, okay.
I've now said that on video, on podcasts.
If there isn't, or if there is,
if there is nuclear war in 2 weeks, if there is, we might be dead. So
I don't think you'll be able to run to the shops, buy some, blonde hair dye, and run back and apply.
Well, it wouldn't be hair dye, it'd be spray. But...
Or your hairspray, run back home, and then put it in, and then take a picture and go to the internet. Here, because at the current time, the internet would have collapsed. Everyone would be panicking, crying, holding their loved ones. And you'll be there going, hey guys, look at my new selfie.
Exactly, that's why I made the bet. I don't want a blonde streak in my hair.
Let's just hope nuclear war does not happen.
I'd probably prefer nuclear war to a blonde streak in my hair.
So many people will disagree. Tell you what, so what are you going to say? How I would avoid nuclear war? Promise a...
Now here's okay. I realise what I said there, but I'm thinking that the best solution for this crisis...
Yeah.
How would I prevent nuclear war?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because what I would do is I would essentially have America be like, hey, see Guam over there? Try me. Then North Korea being their government being the madmen that they are, be like, we'll do that. Why not? And hopefully everybody would be evacuated from Guam at this stage.
Yeah, we hope so.
Obviously. And then they'd hit Guam, and then North Korea would be like, I mean... I know what it's like. I'll use an analogy of like a playground.
Yes.
Essentially, North Korea is a very loud-mouthed kid.
Yes.
That's got a bad family.
Yes.
And he's having a row with one of the biggest kids in the class.
Yes.
And this big kid is essentially, America being the big kid, is basically saying, well, you think you're old, why don't you kick my little brother?
Yes.
And then North Korea, because it's very misguided, will.
Right.
They'll be like, yeah, look at that.
I did it.
And then they'd stop. And they'd noticed that for some reason everyone's crowded around him.
Right.
And they'd get the shit kicked out of him.
Well...
Here's my idea. My idea is to sacrifice Pacific Island as long as you get all the people off.
Yes.
And then to send all of the nuclear bombs that the Western world has on there.
Right. I mean, that's kind of similar to my answer, which is basically...
Some people just want to see the world burn.
But literally, it's just described in one, not word, what's it, like... I mean, I guess it's a word, mad or
mutual destruction.
That's how you stop nuclear war. Realistically, it's either the world disarms, which is honestly unlikely.
More than unlikely, mate. Have you met the American? I shouldn't be taking the piss out of Americans. I've discovered they're American listeners. We appreciate you very much.
Yes,
and we're sorry for anything we have said.
And sorry about Trump.
And we're sorry about the floods.
And the floods.
Actually, that reminds me of a joke that my dad told me.
Oh, great.
He said, given that Houston is full of right-wing Christians, do you reckon any of them had the foresight to build an ark?
You see, that's really... I'm worried that we're just going to get flagged and just brought down just for too many controversial jokes.
Nah, it's fine.
Well...
What's the worst that could happen?
From here on in, I'm going to make no more racial stereotypes. I mean...
Tim, this was just a coy to make you stop being racist.
Well, it's
worked.
It's worked really well. I'm just saying, it's just mutually sure. Nobody's realistically going to disarm unless we become one world order and everybody just stops fighting, basically, and the greed of humanity and power leaves, which is unlikely because it's fueled humanity and got to us where we are now. Sorry, that was more sociology. Anyway, point being, the way to stop nuclear war is just with the knowledge of that if you attack us, we will if you destroy us, we will destroy each other, and then nobody wins.
Yes.
There is no point. You'll just end up back to square one. And so that's what will stop them. If North Korea fire a missile anywhere, I'm pretty sure they don't even have China as an ally anymore.
No, China.
They've stopped trading with them now.
China is in the playground analogy with somebody who became friends with North Korea, but then realised, this kid's weird. He eats bugs and he shouts at pigeons and he screams at his bedroom wall every night. I'm running the wrong people.
Well, so they're not even They don't trade with anyone. They had a trade bridge or whatever that was between North Korea and China. And it was actually quite a funny scene. This reporter was saying, this is the bridge that used to have trains going across, and all trains stopped.
Missions.
Yes, and as they were reporting, a train went past, which was quite funny.
Jordan told us that.
Yes, a friend of ours called Jordan told us that. Yeah.
I said that the news reporter was like, that train has the letter to North Korea saying we're not going to trade you anymore. Or had to have some sort of government officials just going along in the background like black bits of cardboard. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. So anyway, allegedly they've stopped trading with North Korea. So now they have no friends because they are just definitely, as they've always had, a rogue nation.
Yeah.
And so if they fire one missile or two missiles at anybody, they're going to retort, and they're going to have the whole of the UN against them as well.
Yeah, and that's not the sort of person.
And North Korea will no longer exist. North Korea will.
North Korea will look like it looks on Google Maps because somebody wouldn't let the cartographers in.
Not quoting one of our favourite YouTubers there.
Yeah, I mean, God, I'm just an awful plagiarist.
You are.
I'm taking jokes from other podcasts, from other YouTubers, my dad.
It says a lot about where our sense of humour come from. Anyway, but there we go.
And I said, I want to be a comedian.
So that in the end being...
Original content doesn't seem to be my strength.
So what I ended up just saying there was kind of nothing new. I just said that's the reality. That's how you stop nuclear war.
Depressing.
Assured destruction.
But don't worry, I've got my own almost satire to do.
Go on then.
This is actually local news local to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how many people would have found this out, but a couple of days ago, there was a weird kind of chemical cloud that came over Berlin Gap.
Which is where?
Which is just to the west of Eastbourne.
Yes.
And it was causing people to have quite bad kind of people throwing up and coughing up blood and what have you. But the police don't know what caused it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, who would want to gas this part of southern England, and what would their motivation be? I mean, I realise I'm going to take another joke from my dad here because depressingly he's a better stand-up comic than I am.
Well,
he said police have discovered what the cause of the chemical cloud on the south coast of England was. It turned out they could just smell France.
I am completely... I disagree with that joke. I find it quite offensive, and I like the French.
Do you now?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I've got some evidence, mate. Just accept that you hate the French.
I don't.
You're mad. You're still mad at the Battle of Hastings because William the Conqueror came on and killed all the people of your name or whatever it was.
They demolished my house.
Demolished your house abroad.
So anyway,
Tim, you hate the French.
No.
You do.
No, I don't. I don't sincerely hate the French.
Just say you do, because I want to put it in the title.
No. No, I will not give you that pleasure. You can say it in the comments and then trigger people, and then they'll realise, no, this guy's actually sincerely apologising. I do. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. Okay. And I will stop it from here on in.
God, I shouldn't have brought up nuclear war. It's made us all politically correct.
No, this show has made me a better human being. Thank you, Shaun. Okay. Thank you, Shaun, for proposing it. And thank you.
But so Tim, who do you think would want to gas the south coast of England?
I'm
going to say like Monaco or something.
I don't know. I mean, what's the matter with the southeast? Not really anything apart from the fishing. I'm like the overfishing, I guess.
I've got a theory that I've just come up with. I think it's the Luftwaffe.
Oh, I'm not even continuing this conversation.
No, not in a kind of malicious way.
Not in a malicious way. Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is that recently, and there's something that we went to a couple of days ago, which we didn't actually talk about on the podcast. There was an air show in Eastbourne.
Okay.
And my thinking is that the German Air Force are jealous of the Red Arrows.
The German Air Force is not called the Luftwaffe anymore.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Do you know why they're not called the Luftwaffe anymore?
Well, the same way that the most right-wing party of Germany probably isn't still called the Nazi Party anymore.
I don't think they're not allowed any right-wing, extreme right-wing parties anymore.
Well, there must be right-wingness in Germany.
Yeah, of course there is. That's I guess.
I don't mean Narcissism there.
No, I'm just there might. I don't. The point is,
sorry,
Shaun. I can't speak on my own behalf. I can't preach this, but do a little bit of research. I should as well. I think next time, and it's my fault, before we started this podcast, I didn't even prepare a song. So I think next time we do things like this, we should make sure...
At least I had my question ready.
I know, but then you started saying that the German Air Force is still called the Luftwaffe.
It's GAF.
It's probably just called J.
Probably DAF.
I don't think they even have much of a military anymore. They've made that's the point of their.
Oh, well, look, I don't know German culture. I'm sorry. I don't hate Germans in the same way that you hate the French.
I don't hate the French.
Exactly.
So no, anyway.
This is a car crash.
Thanks for this. Whoever's still watching, just sorry.
I think that the only way I can make this worse if I just said it was mustard gas.
Oh, for God's sake! But why? No, forget it. No, I'm not even going to let you continue. Okay, I'm not actually going. The Luftwaffe, and it's not malicious. I swear, they're just having a laugh. Really?
Because they're a bit late.
So, I think.
Tim, can you think of something that's politically correct that would answer my question?
Yes, shut up.
No, that's not politically correct.
That's not.
It doesn't answer my question.
Okay.
That's a statement.
Why would anybody want to gas the south? The
north?
Sorry, the south-east of England. I don't know.
Kim Jong-un, he's just a shit stirrer.
No. I mean... No, I'm sorry. There's no reason why any place should be gas. I think I'm not gonna blow my own trumpet here, but I think mine was a fair point and actually ended up
being really serious.
It's educational in some way, though. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a teacher or anything. Please, just do your research and read the news and stuff, because honestly, it's quite.
I did. That's the story I came up with.
Yes, about the Luftwaffe. Brilliant.
No, that was just off the cuff.
This is now.
I didn't write down Luftwaffe in my notes.
This is now just become where we.
This is like a psychology session at this stage.
So anyway, look. Why do you want to gas the southeast? Look, what? I'm sorry you have such a hatred towards the southeast. Just let it out now.
I mean, I reckon it was you who gassed the southeast of England.
No, it
you're aiming for the French. It
didn't turn out to be something like a pipe in France.
A pipe or leakage or something.
A leakage, and it just came across the English Channel. And
maybe somebody just I believe could have been chlorine gas. Maybe they're just making a lot of swimming pools.
Might, but
maybe they wanted to make the English Channel a big swimming pool.
Everybody just have the ill, sore throats and stinging eyes. It could have been like a form master. I don't think so. But like,
I'm trying to salvage it into funny idea of turning the English Channel into a swimming pool. You went back to mustard
people's
gas.
eyes were stinging, right?
Okay.
And it was from France. It's just onions. It's just onions. That's all it was.
Just some really big onions on the coast of Calais.
Big onions that are in the ocean. And just somebody stabbed open, just peeled away.
Just like really big onions. Somebody's having to wield like a really big knife to chop
exactly.
them. God knows what that guy must be going through. His eyes must have melted away. He's just blind and not knowing what he's doing. He's like, guys, stop!
And tell you what,
this is agony.
And then going back in a segue, it's I don't know. The French want to try and take us again. This time they're just using onions to make us cry. That's why they want to blind the southeast, because they want to conquer us again.
Exactly, you're mad about the Battle of Hastings. I said that earlier.
Hey, in the end, we've gone from controversy just to full circle.
At the end of the... Tim is. I see it all the time. He's lying awake at night, just saying, Agincourt, Agincourt, Agincourt. I want it again. And on that quality bit of satire,
I think
can we move on to the last bit?
Normal service will continue next
week.
Next week, I'm sure, where I will do a bit more research and prepare.
And I will think of better answers to my own questions.
So what are we now moving on to, Shaun?
I mean, maybe it's like a supervillain or something.
What?
Like some sort of, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of supervillain that's gonna. Maybe it's like the plot of Thunderbirds or something.
Maybe.
Because no, I know why it is. Because all bad guys in Hollywood are British, aren't they?
So you're saying he's a British who's allied with the French?
No, I'm not saying exactly
that
the
will never
French.
happen.
I'm just saying he's an evil genius.
With giant onions.
Giant.
Oh wow.
Well, I've maybe just guessed, but sure, giant onions. Just the evil onion farmer.
I'm sure there's a smart. Well, yeah, but nobody would believe it.
Wow.
If somebody said they saw a giant onion off the south coast of England, they'd be like, "What are you talking about? It's probably just a boat."
Sorry, I'm just imagining somebody coming into port at Calais. It's just onion right ahead. Anyway, finally.
The final segment.
Final segment, which falls almost perfectly on the hour mark.
Yes, that's pretty good.
I mean, that's kind of a lie, it's a minute off.
Oh, well, never mind. Let's just
closest to that I think we've got.
Yeah.
This segment we had to call Bottom of the Alternatives.
Okay. Now, do you want to just tell what happened before we started this?
Ah, yes. Now, well, we'll explain the segment first. So anybody who doesn't know, Bottom of the Alternatives is where we take a song that we know. We look at all the lyrics and make them the opposite.
Yes.
And the other person has to try and guess what it is. And normally hilarity ensues.
Yes, and the reason why it's called Bottom of the Tops is because it used to be
you just said bottom of the tops.
Bottom of the Alternatives.
It's because it's an opposite of Top of the Pops.
Which was a BBC programme that was basically just highlighting the biggest hits of this week or the month.
I nearly made the exact same joke as I did last week.
What was that joke? What was the joke?
It's obviously been great. It had all your favourite bands on there.
Oh, yeah, about Jimmy Savile. Yeah, enough of that. So...
Yeah. In a weird twist, you've gone from sounding more racist to being like the ultimate... Tim is now a social justice warrior.
I'm a social justice warrior.
Tim wants a female James Bond.
Yeah. Well, no.
I want to say gay James Bond, but that's besides the point.
All right. Anyway, sorry. So,
before we started, we may have started upon... Sometimes preparation isn't our strong point. Now, I have quite long notes, but Tim didn't have any.
No, I didn't actually prepare a song. I knew what I wanted to speak about, but I didn't have a song.
So you decided to think of the first song that came into your head and use that.
Yes.
Now, your first line, he said, "Oh, by the way, what I've done is this song has somebody's name in it, somebody famous. So I've just decided to try and think of the person who I most think of, who is equally roughly equally famous, and is the exact opposite of that person.
Famous for different reasons, maybe.
And so I just said, off the top of the cuff, I said, that's weird. I can't think of any songs that have the name of a celebrity in them. And then I said, well, I mean, apart from maybe Uma Thurman by Fall Out Boy. And my thinking is that I know Tim, and I know that Tim does not listen to Fall Out Boy.
No, I mean, I've heard the songs. We had a friend called Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan listens to them. I listen to them.
Yes.
But Tim might have heard one in passing.
Yes.
At most, he might remember a couple of lyrics.
Yes.
But he's not going to know that.
No.
At this point, you're writing your pen drops.
My pen drops.
And then you drop, pretty much. Because guess what?
I was doing the lyrics to Uma Thurman in reverse. And just so you're interested, so
you got to 2 lines in.
The first phrase,
pissed on your parade.
Yes. Now the first lyric of the song is.
She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, bury me till I confess.
Yes, and what I had done so far is, he wants to fall over, unlike Brian Blessed. Cremate you when you shut up. So that would have been
the start of yours.
I would have also continued, but of course, Shaun here. He predicted.
I mean,
credit to you.
Given the fact that we've already started on one of yours, why don't we go to the one that you did
We might
instead?
as well. So this is a different song. Now, I hope I haven't done this one already. I'm pretty sure I haven't.
I mean, if you have, then that's poor.
It's very.
Because we're only 4 episodes in.
I would have known that. I would have remembered the lyrics. Like, I'm pretty sure I can remember the one.
Okay.
So anyway, here we go. This is my one.
Okay.
You know where you aren't, unfamiliar bald patches.
What?
Fresh, deserted area. Fresh bald patches. Dark, not
bald.
Yeah, bald, as no hair.
Hairy.
Yeah.
This one has hairy in it.
Maybe that was a bit of a stretch. Otherwise, I think that was a bit of a stretch.
Okay, well, carry on.
Yes. Dark, not late for my nightly crashes.
Okay.
Staying everywhere. Not my sweat, aren't draining down my blind. Yes, monotone. Yes, monotone.
I know what this is.
Yeah, of course he does.
I know what this is.
Expose your feet. You reserve to swim your... I don't know where that was going, I think.
Can't read his own writing.
Yes, yesterday. Yes, yesterday.
I know what this is because the first line, like bald patches.
Yeah. Nowhere aren't familiar bald patches.
But then go on a little bit from that line. It was...
Fresh, deserted area. Fresh, bald patches.
Bald patches. And then it was...
Not late for my nightly crashes. Staying everywhere.
I've worked this out. Staying everywhere is going to be going nowhere. Yep. And I only know one song where it says going nowhere. And not only says going nowhere, but repeats it.
Yes.
It's Mad World.
It is Mad World. It is Mad World.
So with bald patches, all of the familiar faces.
And I didn't think just faces and the opposite of face.
Bald patches.
I just thought, what's the opposite side? I have a bald patch.
Spot.
A bald patch. So, and then of course the line is dark, not late for my nightly crashes.
So light.
No, bright and early for
the morning.
Their daily races. So I said nightly crashes.
Nightly crashes.
And then and of course the one they gave me was staying everywhere. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, can you, in any other kind of lyrics that you want to expand upon?
No.
Because often what we do with these is once we finish, we go through all of them. But you've.
I guess obviously the chorus. I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad.
Yeah, that went to.
Well, I haven't changed it. I never got around to that.
Oh,
I
okay.
got that far with the song, but
that would be you lose it.
What's the opposite of funny?
You lose it completely cringeworthy.
Shaun, how?
Oi. you lose it completely happy.
There we go.
Right, so now I've got to go to my one.
Now, you said I was quite remote that I'm going to be able to get this one. You said.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where it's a very popular song, but I've got a feeling you might not have listened to it.
Right. Somehow I reckon...
And also, mine's quite long.
Go on, then.
And now,
that's
last week, you did... Because I did Lose Yourself by Eminem. And you said it seemed to sound like poetry.
Yes, it was very poetic. It was beautiful.
I feel like this could challenge that.
Well, even more poetic.
Yes.
I mean, just like, all it could take is just one line or one... As I said, that's
one line that gave it away to me.
The way that'll give it away is this has like a unique phrase that will repeat itself and things like that. You can work out and you know the whole song. Going nowhere, staying everywhere.
Right.
So anyway,
let's go for mine.
Here we go.
Because also, I might as well point out you're not the only one who's got low charge on their phone.
Oh,
so I'm on my notes here. I'm on 14%. So who's finding that out first?
Yeah.
Now. Okay, so here we go. My bottom of the alternatives.
Yep.
You regret you lost all worse lights everyone's not seen.
Whoa, restart, sorry?
You will regret you lost all worse lights everyone's not seen.
This is already more poetic.
You regret you didn't have a worse scream that spoke worse letters.
Okay.
You regret you lost unrelated keys in an old chaos. You regret you had to rhyme every time you spoke. You weren't told if you get younger, none of your passion would grow. And now you're secure, but you don't care what dogs say. Your age is clear feet, but you don't care what I say. Your age is clear feet, but you don't care what I say. Regret they couldn't forward space straight to the bad new times.
I need to work out what...
If their daddy kept us awake and now we're enlightened.
Now, obviously, I need to try and work out. The big thing is it's I, and the opposite of regret. So is it you regret? Yeah. It must be I am pleased or happy.
Think of it like this.
Because that's a big phrase, regret. I'm happy that...
Regret is something that you in hindsight, you wouldn't have done. You wouldn't want to do.
Yes, regret, comes from when you something you would have done in hindsight.
So what's the opposite of something that looking back at the past, you
look to the future?
Okay, so what's something that you kind of, if you're looking into the future and you want something in the future?
Hope.
Close.
Pray? No. Hope. Desire?
No, you're going further
away. Going for?
No. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on then.
Wish.
Regret.
You're getting wish.
Oh!
Okay, so now you're going to get there.
There's just a lot of.
So I'll say the first.
Yes.
Line to you.
Yeah.
You regret you lost all worse lights everyone's not seen.
I wish I'd gone to the darkness, seen the darkness.
No, lights is it isn't as in darkness. It's light, but as a concept.
Light as a concept.
What be?
Darkness.
No, it's not
Light.
Darkness. No.
Light.
Okay, I'll go into the next one.
Okay.
You regret... You had a voice crack there. You regret...
I wish...
You regret you didn't have a worse scream.
I wish I had a better... Scream. Voice?
Yeah.
I wish I had a better voice.
That spoke worse letters.
That sung... better words.
Yes, you got a whole line there.
I wish I had a voice that sung
a better voice that sang some better words.
I don't know the song. You're right. I don't. Okay, I just don't keep up on modern songs now. I'm sorry.
You regret you lost unrelated keys in an old chaos.
I wish I found locked doors.
No, keys isn't as in locks.
Keys, like music, like piano keys.
Yes.
Oh, piano.
No, not
wish I had a piano.
No, I wish I had a piano.
Yeah, I wish I had a piano.
So do I. Be great.
I wish I had keys, music.
Keys. Do you give up?
I do give up.
The song, which I imagine some people might end up, probably worked it out from when they saw Regret and Wish. Was Stressed Out by 21 Pilots.
No idea.
Really?
Absolutely not.
It was the biggest song of like 2015, 16.
Where was I in 2015/2016? Oh yeah, I was really sad all the time.
I know, but you still had the internet.
Oh my god, good point.
So you regret you lost all worse lights everyone's not seen. That is, I wish I wish I found better sounds no one's ever heard.
Yeah.
And then you got the second one, which is I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words.
Some better words. That sounds so badly written. I wish I had.
I wish I had a better voice that sang
some better words. That sounds so poorly written, in my opinion.
Then you regret you lost unrelated keys in an old chaos. Is I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. In an order that's new, unrelated in old chaos.
In old chaos.
I had to do the opposite of chords.
Chords.
Unrelated keys. That's the closest thing I could come up with.
Chords. Keys.
You regret you had to rhyme every
good.
time you spoke, which is kind of a bit of an artsy bit in the song where it's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. Because it's like ever
Does the
heard,
song rhyme?
Yeah, because I wish I had found some better songs no one's ever heard. I wish I had some better voice and sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in and all that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. And then,
That's quite funny.
then you weren't told if you get younger, none of your passion would grow. I think it was. I was told that when I get older, all my fears would shrink. And then the next line is, now I'm insecure and I care what people think. So I thought, and now you're secure, but you don't care what dogs say.
How's the chorus of this song go?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll do the pre-chorus bit, which is repeated, which is, your age is clear feet, but you don't care what I say, which is, my name is Blurry Face and I care what you think.
My name is Blurry Face.
Yes.
That's how it actually went.
Yes, because the reason that is that Don't One Parts, the album was called Blurry Face, and it's it's an alternative kind of album, and it's Blurry Face is a representation of all the kind of fears and stuff of her songwriter.
Okay.
So, because he's had some, crazy. He's not crazy, but he's just had a bit of depression, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Don't we all?
So
Sorry,
the chorus. Regret they couldn't forward space straight to the bad new times.
What's the space? Earth?
So, wish I could turn back time.
Oh.
To the good old days.
Oh, I think I know where. Is this?
And then if their daddy kept us awake and now we're enlightened, which I'm annoyed you didn't laugh at because that's quite funny.
If my mummy.
When Mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Oh.
Tim is finding out about music.
It's so beautiful and poetic.
You should listen to 21 Pilots after this podcast.
Probably not. Probably just go back to some alternative wub music, which
wubs.
Well, we listened to. Well, anyway, this is about you. Sorry.
Now.
Yeah. Well, what's the original chorus of this song?
I said it. I wish we could turn back time to the good old days when Mama sang us to sleep. And
how's it go? What's the tune?
Wish I could turn back time to the good old days.
Now I know it. Now I know it. But I had no idea who wrote it.
Oh.
I just don't know. I do. This is, I guess, I don't want to take this section from you now. But just my biggest human flaw is just struggling to remember names.
Fair enough.
Just
to be fair,
I'm remembering people that I meet once. I struggle to remember how I met them and their names. And it's very sad because it just makes it hard to make friends. It's not like and I'm thinking I don't know. I say I do care, but do I if I can't remember names and places?
That's going to deep philosophical. I was going to say how.
And that's uncharted territory for this program.
For right now, yeah. I can remember how we met. Is that we've known each other for about 7 years. And by the way, talking about names, you have called me every friend and relation to you that you have under the sun. You've called me mum, dad, the name of your brother, all of the names of your friends.
I've probably called you some of my exes.
You probably have called me Nina at some point.
Or whatever,
And yeah.
For no reason.
But also, what's interesting is you said you forget how people met. It kind of links into... Because we met at a open day for our secondary school that we both ended up going to.
Mm-hmm.
And... Essentially, you had no friends there, and the friends that I had didn't want to be friends of me that were there. So we were just kind of.
So it's quite a lot about us.
Yes, it does.
In the early days.
And then we sat there, and I ended up having a chat with you, and we kind of got on.
Yeah.
But then year 7 rolled around.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen you. I thought, maybe you've gone to a different school. But I hadn't, because I kind of forgotten what you looked like, and I think I'm right in saying you'd had a bit of a growth spurt between year 6 and year 7. Because you used to have a lot of acne, and I imagine that started to develop then, so I struggled to recognise you. But funnily enough, you did remember about me, but it just so happened that in our class there was another kid who I at the time had short ginger hair
and was of a similar build.
Yeah, we still know him, and it's obviously still
There's another friend of mine, Kieran. What was it? I like gingers.
Yeah, you just like gingers.
I like the undermined in society.
You're like some sort of scavenger of what society leaves behind.
Oh, thanks. It sounds like.
And on that jolly note.
Well, it sounds like I was left, but yeah, I don't know where I ended now. I'm happy about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered, but I just remember it's something different.
Yeah, I remembered halfway through that year, and then I started talking to you, and I imagine you're just like, oh, okay.
Didn't you say like my personality changed and I stopped being so quiet and timid and I was a bit more?
Yeah, you were quite quiet at the time, but I think it was because you had nobody who you knew there at the time. So
I probably got some words of wisdom from my brother.
Yes, because your brother is like a mystical old wizard.
Yes, he's pretty awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that's my biggest flaw as a human being, and I just struggle to remember names. And I guess like I do care about people. I hope, otherwise I'm just a sociopath, and that is the right one.
Yeah.
But in the same time, I don't want to care.
Oh, blimey!
Choice. No. Because like people like. Or at least I pretend not to care. Like, I can't remember the name. But in reality, it's because and the reality is because I want to remember people's names and I want to remember people because I like people amazingly. But it's just like when I don't, and it's very awkward. I I want to give up and just say, I don't care. Like I just can't remember your name. And it's just if I don't.
So Tim, why do you think you feel like this? Well, you can explain it to me. I'm your psychiatrist. I can do this for you.
Let's talk I don't have a breakdown. I mean, I'm sure I've had this discussion with like people before. Like, my biggest flaw is just remembering people's names to the point where one of like. Oh,
sorry. I believe somebody just crashed their BMX bike outside of our house.
Oh,
I don't know if that came up on the microphone. I just heard a big, a loud skid of one tyre.
Tell you what, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, that is our death knell.
That's pretty good. So I guess we'll let you round off as usually do.
So yes, on that cheery note where Tim is just opening himself up to the however many people listen.
Yes.
We will bid you farewell. So Tim, if you have the mental strength, say goodbye.
Bye.
And I'll look after him too. Goodbye.